And we welcome you live to the Mustang Corral, the red carpet here at Edgewood High School in Ellettsville, Indiana, where tonight it's the Western Indiana Conference East Division opener between the Cloverdale Clovers and the Edgewood Mustangs. Glad you could join us for Edgewood Mustang football here on Smithville Sports alongside Quinn Saturday. I am Nick Jenkinson. And Quinn, Edgewood 2-0 for the first time since 2001. Looking to go 3-0 for the first time since 2000.
Just put that in perspective. Nobody on the team was alive back then. So it's been a hot minute since they have since Edgewood has started the season so hot, but things are looking really good. Especially building off of a great season last year. It's really encouraging, especially graduating so many contributing seniors, to see this team continue to have success.
And the guy that's having the most success so far is the senior quarterback, Skylar Curtis.
Skylar Curtis is having an amazing start to his senior season. 31 rushes for 286 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. He's also thrown the ball 33 times, completed 20 for 212 yards. Still hasn't gotten that first passing touchdown yet, but we know it's only a matter of time.
He got all 4 of those touchdowns in the season opener against Mitchell. The other guy that's stepping up, Brody Schaefer. He had both touchdowns last week in that 14-7 win over Monrovia. He also had 2 touchdowns earlier in the season against Mitchell.
Yeah, it's a hard act. LaVon Bellamy was a hard act to follow. So Brody Schaefer's kind of gone the other way. Instead of being a very flashy, he's a lot more like in between the tackles, just pick up those 8-9 yards kind of guy. He could still definitely break a run, but he has definitely brought in an element that was a little bit of a question mark considering, like I said, the loss of Bellamy from last season, and he has been excellent. 126 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns off of 40 carries. He's also the leading receiver in terms of yards, which has been maybe the most significant thing, is that he's become a really good receiving target out of the backfield for Skylar Curtis. 5 catches for 86 yards.
Not to mention that the Mustangs got ranked this week for the first time in a while, ranked 14th in Class 3A.
And we also want to give a shout out to Bloomington North, also getting ranked as well. So both our schools are in the polls this week.
Yeah, and it's going to be a tough test tonight for Bloomington North as they are over at Terre Haute South, who is actually ranked 6th in Class 5A. Bloomington North is ranked 13th, and then across Terre Haute over at Terre Haute North tonight, you got 10th ranked Terre Haute North taking on 11th ranked Bloomington South. And of course, we will talk a lot about those games next week, as rivalry week is next week, but it's time to focus on this week as Cloverdale comes in with a 0-2 record. They have lost to South Putnam 33-14 and to Greencastle 19-18. You know, just like Mitchell, Quinn, Cloverdale is going to run the ball.
Yeah, they are a team that is centered on the triple option. They are led in rushing by a young man by the name of Caden Stevens. 36 carries, 231 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the season. In the Greencastle game, went over 100 yards with 133 yards and a touchdown. Had 2 touchdowns against South Putnam. Jake Smith is going to be the quarterback, and by that I mean he's going to be the person who's going to receive the ball from under center. 32 carries for 66 yards.
As we're going to get ready for the national anthem here with the Edgewood Pep Band. The Edgewood Pep Band, the state champions last year, hoping to repeat again this year under the direction of Mr. Aaron Wells. Well, Quinn, we were looking at Cloverdale. You talked about Caden Stevens. He's also the leading tackler on defense. So this is a kid, and Cloverdale's only got 35 kids, like Mitchell, who had 28. So a lot of these kids are going to play both ways.
Yeah, it definitely has been the star of the early season. As I mentioned, Jake Smith, the second leading rusher, 32 carries for 66 yards, also had a 2-point conversion as well. Devin Cashin, a goal line back you might want to look out for. He had 2 touchdowns on just 9 yards against Greencastle, has 40 yards on 11 carries overall.
As here come the Edgewood Mustangs out of the inflatable helmet. Their motto, expect victory, and so far this season they have done just that. As you get Ryan Rosenberg, 13-11 in his third year at the school, 3-7 in 2017, 8-4 last year, lost to East Central in the Class 4A sectional championship game, and he's hoping to have more success this season. He's been at Edgewood for a long time as an assistant coach, but now he has put his mark on this program.
Absolutely. Bit of a rough first season, but has definitely the last 1 year and change has definitely shown just how good of a coach he is, and able to make Edgewood as the best that it's been in almost 20 years.
As we look at Cloverdale, David Zorman is 0-2 in his first year at the school, a graduate of Western Boone High School. That's up by 11, and they've been outscored 32-52, offensive average 16, give up 26. Again, 0-1 at home and on the road. They're a Class 1A school, so they lost to South Putt and 3A Greencastle. Cloverdale has been a team that has struggled for a long time. They were 2-8 last year, lost to North Putnam 21-7 in the sectional. They haven't had a winning season since 1996. 7-3, so it's been a long time. They've gone through a lot of coaches, and hopefully Coach Zorman is one that can stick around for a while and get this Cloverdale team on the right track.
It's always a tough challenge when you are faced with a school that hasn't had a winning season in a long time, but you just got to take it one day at a time. Success may not come on the first season, but keep plugging away. Don't let it discourage you. The 0-2 start, don't let it discourage you. Just continue to implement your team. Look at Rosie. He had a terrible first season. Oh, well, not terrible, but a pretty mediocre first season. And look where he is right now with his team now ranked 14th.
As we look at the series history, Edgewood leads all-time 14-3. Since 1997, they've led this series 4-2. They played in both 97 and 98. Edgewood won both meetings, and then they resumed once Cloverdale joined the Western Indiana Conference in 2015. Edgewood won in 2015, 49-6. Then Cloverdale won the next two, 20-18 in 2016, and then 19-10 in 2017. And last year, Edgewood rolled all over Cloverdale, 45-6, behind over 600 yards of offense from the Mustangs last year. So they are looking for a repeat. Cloverdale in southern Putnam County, just up US 231. Not a far trip for Cloverdale to make, and it's again the Western Indiana Conference East Division opener, as Cloverdale will kick off and Edgewood will receive. And yes, if you're looking at your screen for the first time and wondering, yes, that is a red field. It is the only red field in the state of Indiana, and Edgewood is thrilled as this is a squib kick, and Edgewood's going to take it here at the 30-yard line, going to get outside and get a stiff arm, as that's Andrew Blessinger with the return for the Mustangs. So Edgewood Blessinger will get outside, and Edgewood will start with Skylar Curtis, the senior quarterback for the Mustangs, as he's been the engine that leads his team
Absolutely.
so far.
He's done it with both his arm and his legs. He's just in total command of the offense. You definitely saw a lot of leadership from him in last season as a junior, but this is his team now. He is that leader, and the team's gonna go as he does.
And this is a handoff, and ball was at the 38 as Levi Bay, the junior, with his first carry of the game.
Bay got good work against the Monrovia Bulldogs last week.
As he did not see any action against Mitchell, got in against Monrovia and had a nice performance.
7 carries for 32 yards.
And this time they hand it off a second time.
That time it's Schaefer.
Gain of 5 for Bay the first time. Schaefer with the ball this time. And he's going to get taken down for a loss of 2. So the ball back at the 41. 3rd and 7 for Edgewood here, just underway from the Mustang Corral.
One thing to note is that Edgewood did have a very slow start in our first game. So if Cloverdale wants to strike, they got to strike soon.
And here is Curtis with a nice screen pass. It is complete into the secondary and across midfield. And trying to see the number 12, that's Quentin Fortier, the junior, and that gives the Mustangs a first down.
Just a nice skinny slant on the right side of the field, able to just break it open. He cut in towards the center of the field, and the corner was kind of caught flat-footed, and just a nice catch, and then great run after the catch as well.
As looks like Cloverdale trying to cause movement. Skylar Curtis going to keep it himself. He bounces outside to the 20, gets out of bounds about the 16-yard line. Curtis's first carry of the night. And that will be
and already by making plays with his arm, he's immediately created the respect of the defense to have to appreciate that, letting him take advantage of designed runs like that.
15-yard run for Skylar Curtis, as it is a 1st and 10 at the 17. Curtis gonna throw it over the middle of Shane Wickens, and he is in for the touchdown.
And there it is. There's that first touchdown pass we were looking for.
Shane Wickens,
and you can definitely tell that was. You can definitely see that comfort level has already kind of taken over from, as we mentioned last time we showed him against Mitchell. Had a rough first quarter. Here, just a seamless drive. Had to deal with 1 third down, but overall, excellent job through the air as well. The entire drive was Curtis running the ball and passing the ball. Really showed off how important he is for this team.
As it is Edgewood on the board first. Andre Atkins with the extra point, and it is good. And Edgewood on the board, 7-0. So it was a 17-yard touchdown pass from Skylar Curtis to Shane Wickens.
Wickens, the leading receiver in terms of receptions, had 7 catches for 58 yards coming into this game. Definitely a favorite blanket receiver for Curtis. And right there, just working the slot, able to get through a crease and then just eke out a touchdown.
So the Mustangs going to work. Last week beat Monrovia 14-7, beat Mitchell 2 weeks ago. We had that game 44-30. A season ago, 3-3 here on the red carpet, trying to make it 2-0 this year. As Cloverdale will get the ball for the first time. As we'll see how they respond. Again, a team that is a primarily like Mitchell runs the ball. And we'll see how they do here as Andre Atkins kicks it off. And this will be taken about the 18-yard line. And this is a good run for Devin Cashin, number 2. And he'll get it out near the 40-yard line.
Yeah, broke a couple of tackles, and that has given the Clovers really good field position right around the 40-yard line. It's called the 39-yard line. So, as I said, if you want to stick in this game, you're going to want to strike early if you're Cloverdale.
So Jake Smith will operate the offense for the Clovers, 6 foot, 165-pound junior. As we mentioned in the open, only completed 3 passes so far this season. So Smith under center. He is going to pitch it off, and that is going to be a stuff. That was Caden Stevens, the leading rusher for Cloverdale, and he is met at the backfield.
And the thing is that was the right play to do. That's just how well covered Edgewood had that run.
So a huge hit. That was Tristan Bland for the Mustangs.
Oh, and it ended up being a fumble.
Edgewood gets it. Edgewood actually gets it back on the fumble. So how about that? So one play and Edgewood takes it over once again, and Skylar Curtis will go back to operate this offense.
Looks like maybe on the pitch back it ended up losing the ball.
Edgewood at the 40. This is Brody Schaefer, and he's got the right up the middle past the 30-yard line. That is good enough for the first down. So Schaefer's second carry, the third first down so far for Edgewood, gain of 11 for Brody Schaefer.
As I said, he's very workman mentality. Going to get those nice 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-yard runs for you.
Gets out of that negative yardage now, 2 carries for 9 yards. First and 10 at the 29 for the Mustangs. Curtis going to throw it to Shane Wickens again. Wickens breaks the tackle, past the first down marker, still going, trying to cross the field. Shane Wickens stays on his feet down toward the 10-yard line.
Yeah, at the end, Wickens did an excellent job of stop trying to break tackles and just hold on to the ball, as Cloverdale was definitely going for the ball there in that situation. But yeah, just an excellent job. We get to really see his agility and his ability to break tackles, as that was a very simple pass, and basically you have to give all credit to Wickens for getting that first down.
So far, 2 receptions for 28 yards as Edgewood first and goal at the 9. Here comes Curtis rolling, and that is complete. And that is number 23, Derek Davis. First reception for Davis this season. So far, Skylar Curtis be a gain.
Definitely seeing quite a bit of passing early on here for the Mustangs.
Second and goal at the 5, so a 4-yard pass play. As Edgewood trying to punch it in for the second time here. This is Brody Schaefer, and he is going to just walk in for the Edgewood touchdown. Schaefer's 5th of the season.
The blocking was basically perfect on the play. Immediately created that hole, and as you said, walked in. That's a byproduct of an offensive line doing their job and creating that hole, preventing the defensive line from being able to get any kind of penetration whatsoever.
So the second score for the Mustangs, Andre Atkins back on for the extra point. And this is low, and it is no good. So the missed extra point for Atkins, But Edgewood off to a good start with a 13-0 lead.
It should be noted that fumbles is definitely something to watch for, as that is now the sixth fumble on the season, the sixth fumble for Cloverdale that ended that drive. So fumbles have become a reoccurring issue, and that is a symptom of running a triple option where you're going to be pitching the ball a lot. Might want to try some more inside option runs instead of some outside option runs here, because you definitely, the last thing you want to do is lose confidence this early.
No, Cloverdale's an 0-2 team. They know their back's up against the wall, and coming in here against an Edgewood team that's got a lot of confidence, a lot of swagger about them, they don't want to definitely get down, and already down 13-0, as this will be, looks like this is Devin Cashin again, number 2.
And just kind of showcased the wasted opportunity on Cloverdale's first drive when you look at the field position disparity between that first kickoff and that second kickoff.
Cloverdale will get the ball at the 19-yard line as Jake Smith will come back to operate this offense. Just one play for Cloverdale so far for 1 yard.
And like I said, I expect either an inside run or an inside option run here.
As man in motion, this will be a run, and this is a run across the 30, and this is Caden Stevens, number 22.
Just as I said, if the pitch isn't working, time to work the inside, and that was an excellent first run up the middle.
That will be a first down for Cloverdale.
And for an 0-2 team, they have quite a weapon in Caden Stevens. As I said, 231 yards and 3 touchdowns on the season.
Not to mention,
had a 100-yard game last week against Greencastle.
And was almost close against South Putnam, too, just coming up 2 yards short, 98 yards in the first week. This is a run to the 40. I think that was Stevens again. So that's his third carry. Dathan Carter with the stop for the Mustangs. So a gain of 5, 2nd and 5 at the 40. 3 carries for Stevens so far.
Linebackers, Daniel Wilson, Smith, Adams.
As
Check out, we do see
it's going to be a man in a bunch, and there is the pitch, and again, Edgewood meets it perfectly as that goes to Devin Cashin, and he is stopped in the backfield.
The good takeaway is that they were able to get that first pitch after a fumble is always the toughest, because you always worry that you're going to repeat the same mistake. So the good news is that they did complete it fine. The bad news is they lost all the progress they got on the first down.
-5 on that play brings up 3rd and 10 at the 35, approaching the 6-minute mark here in quarter number 1. Smith gonna roll, and he is gonna throw it. He's got Cashin, but he overthrows it, incomplete.
Yeah, he had Cashin open. If he would have been able to throw, if he would have been able to kind of direct it a little bit more towards the center of the field, that could have ended up being a touchdown, because he had beaten his man.
Had beaten his man, but just kind of angled it too far toward the sidelines. As Brody
might have been a byproduct of having to run to the right, kind of having his momentum and throwing it, causing it to go that way. That is something really hard to try to throw on the run.
Blessinger is standing at the 45. Now we're going to have a flag on the play. That's going to be a penalty against Cloverdale. It's going to be the first penalty tonight of the game, and Jake Smith is kicking as well for Cloverdale. That's what happens in a lot of the small schools. You got guys that have to basically do it all, play a lot of different positions. Schaefer standing about the 33. Smith gets it off. Schaefer's going to muff it, but he's going to pick it up. He's going to get a block. And now he's going to get a lead block, or he's going to get past midfield. Schaefer to the 40, to the 35, and then out of bounds near the 30-yard line.
Unfortunately, it will not matter because there was a block in the back at the 35-yard line.
There is a flag about the 33-yard line, so that will be on the Mustangs.
That's going to be really big because of not only negating that, but also of where it's placed. It was placed right at where he had caught it, the worst possible place, because then you have to take those yardage from where that flag is thrown.
So they will get the chains in place. And they are going to move this back. Looks like it will be a 5-yard.
It will be brought back up to the 30.
5-yard penalty, so we'll be at the 30-yard line. So Cloverdale punts it away. So far a fumble and a punt on the first two drives for the Clovers. Edgewood's first two drives have been touchdowns. At the 30, Skylar Curtis keeps it. Looks like it is a fumble. And that is a turnover, and that is Cloverdale ball.
We saw that in week 1. That early fumble. Looks like the exchange was muffed, and now Cloverdale with really good field position and a chance to capitalize. I expect a heavy dosage of Caden Stevens right about now.
Loss of 3 for Skylar Curtis on that fumble, as Cloverdale gets it at the 27. And now this was taken away. Edgewood has it, and it was taken away as Stevens just got stripped. And it's Reese Novak, number 50.
That's a situation of not holding the ball properly when you run, as that was immediately just taken. That was like taking a cookie from someone, just literally, that's mine, and just run away with it.
So that is the second turnover tonight for the Clovers, and it just gets.
That's the 7th fumble now for. Though I don't even consider that a fumble. That's just a steal.
As this is complete. Curtis to number 12, Quentin Fortier, for his second reception of the night.
Fortier had one reception 2 weeks ago in our game against Mitchell, and has slowly but steadily become a bigger part of this offense, already having a season high with 2 receptions in this game.
2 receptions so far for 32 yards. As the official trying to get the, looks like they're trying to get the play clock reset. It's down to 5 seconds.
Of course, we play with a 40-second. It's at 25. Did we play with a 40?
At live play. Now
live play. Here we go.
So the Mustangs got it. Second. Curtis across the middle. This is complete. That's 87, Jance Hunt. That's his first reception of the evening of the season. So Skylar Curtis gets a first down across midfield, and that is to Jance Hunt.
Now again, really getting to see Skylar Curtis really show off his arm in this game, really directing the team.
First and 10 at the 40 in Cloverdale territory. That time it is number 12.
And right there, again, that's going to be something they need to work on, is that Curtis immediately noticed that the play, it ended up being a broken play, and that hesitation where he held on to that ball. Luckily, it did end up getting passed to 48, who then got dropped, but you need to be a little bit more decisive in that.
So that's a loss of 5 for Fortier. Going to put him back to the 45, second and 15.
For the first time in his career, as Derek Parkins off the basketball hardwood, a 5'11".
So Curtis going shotgun, 2 at the bottom, 1 at the top. Curtis going to get pressure, and he's going to get out, and he's going to get past the original line of scrimmage, and now he's going to take off to the 10, and he's going to beat his man, or they're going to rule him out of bounds near the goal line.
And
no, they're going to say touchdown.
Tightrope for the touchdown. That was an absolute broken play. That the blitz came. The offensive line could not handle it. But Skylar Curtis, he showed them last season that he can run, and showed that nothing has changed in the 365 days that have transpired between matches, as he was able to not only get out of the pocket and get the first down, but then walk the tightrope down that sideline and get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, that was a delayed signal with Skylar Curtis, 45-yard touchdown run, 5th of the season. And then Curtis going to keep it on the 2-point conversion. And it is now 21-0 Edgewood.
And like I said, that is literally just a situation where a great player making great plays, because Cloverdale was doing very well defensively. They were controlling the line of scrimmage. They had gotten the blitz on there, but that's the thing when you face a running quarterback. When you blitz, you leave the outside open. You don't have those linebackers on the edge who can maybe pick up. You're making yourself vulnerable to runs to the outside, and right there, they ended up getting the wrong side on that gamble.
So Skylar Curtis, 5 touchdown runs on the season. He had 4 against Mitchell, second most in school history, with a handful of guys. The school record 5 shared by 2 gentlemen here at Edgewood, as Andre Atkins is going to kick it off for the Mustangs, as here will go Cloverdale, as Devin Cashian, Josh Collier in 2008, and Rod Ogan in 1982 had 5 touchdowns apiece. And then a host of guys in with Gabe Coons, Robert Boltinghouse 3 times, Josh Collier twice, Brian De Los Santos, Kyle Williams, and now Skylar Curtis, all with 4 apiece, rushing touchdowns in Edgewood in an individual game. So the Clovers get it back. So far, 4 drives for Edgewood resulted in 3 touchdowns. As the Clovers have it at the 28, first and 10. And this will be Caden Stevens with the carry, his 5th of the night. And it will be a second down. Kind of like last week for Bedford North Lawrence, we saw a lot of Skylar Bates. We're going to see a lot of, and Dorian Duncan from Mitchell. So there's always that one guy that you're going to see get a lot of the carries.
And this is a running back who is just as talented as them as well, and capable of breaking a big run.
There is another run up the middle.
As you mentioned, Caden Stevens and Jake Smith, they are your ball carriers generally for Cloverdale, rather. They will throw in a carry here and a carry there for a couple of guys.
And it looks like that is Stevens again.
We got
they gain a 4, 3rd and 1 for the
got
Clovers.
a 3rd and 1 now.
Cloverdale so far 0 for 1 on third down conversions. Ball at the 37, right at the 2-minute mark. And there it is, and he's going to push forward, gets to the 40, and they will give him the first down.
I would have measured that, but it looks like Cloverdale was given the first down.
So the Clovers move the chains. The second first down of the evening for the Clovers. As we are now, ball is at the 40. As Smith under center. This will be Stevens. That's his eighth carry.
It's very encouraging thing for the Clovers is that the offensive line has improved drastically from what it was at the beginning of this quarter. Already seeing them get a lot of push off here and creating some momentum, starting to get these 4, 5, 6 yard runs.
As gain of 7. That is another run. And this time does not get it on a 2nd and 3. Stevens with his 9th carry tonight. That will be a third down for Cloverdale as the ball is at the 47-yard line. As we're going to say, and it's going to be a handoff, and Edgewood stuffs. He's not going to get it. Now he pushes forward, but I think the progress was already stopped before the marker.
Progress. So you're going to end up with a 4th and 1 at the 50-yard line. Definitely feel this is a need to go for it here.
First time the Clovers will go for it on 4th down. Their 4th drive, 2 fumbles and a punt so far. And this is going to be the end of the first quarter. So your score, Edgewood 21, Cloverdale nothing on Smithville Sports.
Life's busy and you can't be everywhere at once. Or can you? Smithville Security is proud to offer the brand new Honeywell Lyric controller. With a Lyric package from Smithville Security, you can monitor threats from burglaries, fire, flood, and check on your home with our HD cameras, and also control lights, locks, garage doors, and thermostats from anywhere with the Total Connect app. Now you're in control with Smithville Security. Smart, safe, simple, Smithville. For more information, visit smithvillesecurity.com.
And we welcome you back to the Mustang Corral, the red carpet here at Edgewood High School in Ellettsville, Indiana. Edgewood in control, 21-0 over the Cloverdale Clovers. Glad you could join us for Edgewood Mustang football here on Smithville Sports. Alongside Quinn Saturday, I am Nick Jenkinson, and so far, Quinn, Edgewood is rolling.
It's been a very dominant quarter for Edgewood. A lot of it having to do with fumbling issues continuing for the Clovers. They have a chance right here. They're starting to get a little bit of momentum. They're on 4th and 1.
Edgewood has now outscored their opponents 28-13.
Oh, actually, they're going to go for the
Cloverdale's going to go for the fake, and they are going to, looks like they will get it. Jake Smith with the carry. And it's going to pay off for Jake Smith. So a gutsy play for Jake
Smith. Very gutsy play. In all honesty, I would have just, that was extremely risky. I would have just lined it up and then just tried to brute force my way through that. When you have to do that, you basically have to convert on an 8 or 9 yard run instead of on a 1 yard run.
So Jake Smith, that's a long way to go for 1 yard, but he got it done as Cloverdale has a fresh set of downs now, the third first down for the Clovers, as that is a pass complete. At least it's
I guess we're going to call that a shovel pass.
a shovel pass complete. Looking at 8. And
that would be the 4th completion of the season.
looks like Deshaun Heimball got the carry for got the pass for the Clovers. They're going to give him 9 yards on that one. And Caden Stevens will
and he's going to get the first down on that as well.
get the first down for the Clovers.
Unfortunately, with the way that their offense operates, they can't really Cloverdale can't really get back in this game in a hurry. So that's why you need to preach patience right now. You can't let mistakes get to you, because each drive is going to take quite a bit of time. You're not going to have many short drives.
Ball is at the 39. Smith under center. He's going to get blindsided. Ball is loose, and Edgewood is going to get it. Jake Smith is taken down from behind and loses the ball, and it's Edgewood ball again.
And that is the 3rd fumble tonight.
As Edgewood.
Now the 9th, I believe. Hold on. No, the 8th turnover, the 8th fumble for this offense this season.
And Clovers go from, it gets from bad to worse for Cloverdale, as, like you said, the 3rd fumble so far in this game. And Edgewood again in control once again for the Mustangs. So Curtis, that is, in and out of the hands of number 88 for the Mustangs, Derek Farkas. A first time getting his name called. He is off the Mustang basketball team, and that is the first incompletion tonight for Skylar Curtis.
Yeah, that one, even though it was dropped by Farkas, placement could have been a little bit better, but not a big deal. Low risk, low reward play to start this drive.
2nd and 10 at the 44. This time it is a run. Levi Bay gets his 2nd carry of the evening. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down gain of...
Excellent penetration by the linebacking core of the Clovers to immediately get into the backfield and basically have him wrapped up. That you got to give all that to Bay basically for getting that 1 yard. That was a hard-earned, I got to drag a person 1 yard run.
Ball at the 45, 3rd and 9, 2 carries, 6 yards for Levi Bay. Edgewood 1 of 1 so far on 3rd down conversions. Curtis shotgun. He's going to look to the far side, and it is batted around, and now it is intercepted by Devin Cashian, number 2, and he is going to return this to the 40-yard line.
In and out of the hands of Parker Harrington on the pass. And as you said, Devin Cashian, who's kind of seen all over the field so far in this game, comes up with a big interception and a chance to basically hit the reset button on the previous turnover and basically take them back to where they were.
Skylar Curtis, 6 of 8 passing so far in this game. with a touchdown and an interception. And now it's Clover's ball, 1st and 10 at the 39. And that is Caden Stevens getting the carry. That'll bring up a 2nd down. So far, that's a gain of 3, 2nd and 7 for Cloverdale.
Definitely love how this Cloverdale team is definitely reacting. It's easy to, it would have been easy right away to kind of just roll over and be like, let's go ahead and get into halftime with the mercy roll and just end this game. But you can definitely tell that they still believe in themselves that they can get back and win this game.
And it's going to go on Caden Stevens, going to bring up a 3rd down and 4, another gain of 3 for Stevens. Cloverdale so far 1 of 3 on 3rd downs. And this Edgewood defense only gave up 7 last week against a strong Monrovia squad. 3rd and 3 at the 32. Going to push ahead. And
I think they're going to be a little short on that.
And they are not going to get it. It's going to be a 4th down.
Definitely don't think they're going to run the fake punt this time. I expect them to just line up and try to chug along. Because this one isn't 4th and 1. This is 4th and inches right here.
As Caden Stevens, 4th and 1. Cloverdale got it the first time on the fake
punt. 4th and
punt.
a shoelace.
I look for Jake Smith just to dive ahead here. And it's just going to be a quick handoff, and they will get the 1st down.
Yep.
As it was just a quick handoff to Stevens, and they will move the chains.
Just simple dive play. And those dive plays have actually been really effective. They've been averaging at least like 6 yards a carry.
Yeah, so far, Stevens carrying the load for...
It's been when they go to the outside that they've had a bit of problems.
14 carries for Stevens. Ball at the 27.
Kind of bumped into each other.
Jake Smith hands it off. So Stevens for his 15th carry of the evening, 2nd and down, gain of 1. Under 6 to go. Stay tuned. We'll have a great halftime feature for you. As Edgewood leads 21 to nothing. Fast-moving first quarter. 2nd and 9. It's going to be Stevens. He's going to be dragged down right at the 25. As it will be a 3rd down for the Clovers.
The thing is, though, even if you do find success up the middle, eventually you're going to have the defense basically overload the box, and you're going to have to go back to the outside again. You can't let past failures make you lose confidence. The Cloverdale will need to go to the go to the outside eventually and succeed there if they want to get back in this game.
3rd down and 9. Smith going to get pressured, and they're going to say incomplete. He got rid of it before he was tackled.
And that was not a good idea. Should have just taken the sack. Lucky that the ref ordered that declared that as a pass.
So all-out blitz for Edgewood, 1 of 3 passing for Jake Smith. Just 9 yards tonight in the air. And the Clovers 1 of 5 on 3rd down conversions.
Yeah, and a big 4th and 9 now. for Cloverdale.
So far, the Clovers have
And
been
they're going to have to basically do the same thing. They're going to have to get a pass play or something to the outside.
2 for 2 so far on 4 downs. They're going to throw it, and this is in and out of the hands of the Mustang defense, and it's a turnover on downs.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where if you don't get the interception, you actually have better field position. But there's also the chance of taking it back, and also, personal pride as well to get to claim that you got an interception. But overall, it was a decent drive by Cloverdale, but one that definitely stalled near the end, and you could definitely see that their lack of a passing game, or their trouble with the passing game, is really showing right now.
Yeah, 1 for 4 passing for Jake Smith, as this is going to be a handoff. Going to be Brody Schaefer, his 4th carry of the evening. Schaefer 2 touchdowns apiece against Monrovia and Mitchell, and had 1 tonight already. So it is him and Skylar Curtis that lead this Mustang attack.
Yeah, when your backfield literally has 10 touchdowns between, well, I guess you could say 11 if you count passing touchdowns as well. So.
Approaching the 4-minute mark, gain of 2 for Schaefer. And this is Brody Schaefer. No Levi Bay with the carry. That's his 3rd.
I would like to record that and show that to high school football defenses and show them why you don't arm tackle. Why you need to wrap up.
Levi Bay.
That should have been down in the backfield, but with an arm tackle, able to break that very easy. And now they're at 3rd and short.
Gain of 6 for Bay, 3 carries for 12 yards. As this is Skylar Curtis in right at midfield, and that's going to move the chains for the Mustangs. His 5th carry of the night. Gain of 16 for Curtis.
I feel like between this year and last year that there's this innate panic whenever Curtis starts running. If you're the Cloverdale defense.
So he's going to move the chains. It's 1st and 10 right at midfield. And there's going to be a flag, as taken down is Schaefer. And it will be on the Mustangs. So
we got a flag here.
Legal procedure call on Edgewood.
Going to be a false start. They're going to go ahead and decline it.
So it's going to be a 2nd down. So a loss of 2 on the play. Curtis in the shotgun. Play clock. This is going to be Skylar Curtis. Just gets past midfield. We'll bring up a 3rd down.
Yeah, tripped up a little bit as he was trying to cut back to the middle of the field. That was still excellent job by Cloverdale to kind of stay in front of him, kind of force him to, when he cut back, kind of backpedal a little bit, which caused him to trip up.
Edgewood gets to the 49. 3rd and 9. Gain of 1 for Curtis. Mustangs so far 1-1 on 3rd downs. And this will be Curtis throws it, and it's just in and out of the hands. That was Parker Harrington.
Yeah, just off of his fingertips would have been a first down. And now kind of in that in-between territory, I think he punted in this situation. No need to give Cloverdale a shorter field.
So the first time that the Mustangs will punt away, Derek Davis will punt this way for Edgewood. Devin Cashin's going to stand about the 16-yard line. And Derek gets it away. It's going to take a bounce. And it's going to go out of bounds around the 20-yard line. So we got 1:48 to go here before halftime, with Edgewood in control, 21-0. And if you're Cloverdale, you got nothing to lose at this point.
Yeah, the big thing is trying to travel the ball down the field with just under 2 minutes left.
Ball will be at the 19-yard line, 1st and 10, a minute 46 to go.
I expect them to be using timeouts.
Each team's got 3 timeouts.
But I expect them to continue running the ball, but using those timeouts.
This will be Caden Stevens, and he's going to run it right up the middle. 17th carry.
It is worth noting that Cloverdale will get the ball to start the second half, so if they can definitely get a score here to end the half, and then combine that with the score to start it, it'll be a one-possession game, but it looks like Cloverdale is just going to go ahead and end the quarter. A little surprised, like I said, could have played this right to make this a one-possession game.
James Johnson, number 81, is up at the top of your screen. And there is stuff right in the backfield this time.
And if I'm Edgewood, I call a timeout.
And there will be a timeout
and that's what they're going to do.
As Hunter Fox gets the carry for the Clovers, his first of the night. And Edgewood calls the timeout with a minute remaining in the first half.
And that's why I was a little confused as to why Cloverdale didn't try to push the tempo, or at least try to push the ball upfield.
So Hunter Fox
takes. Right now, Edgewood, if they're able to get this, if they're able to stop on third down, they'll whip the ball back with probably around midfield and a timeout left with about 40 seconds, like 40 seconds left, I would say.
You see the Mustangs on the sidelines, off to their best start since 2001, looking to go 3-0 for the first time since 2000. Edgewood next week makes that 10-mile trek down State Road 46 to take on Owen Valley in the Black and Blue Trophy game. And of course, last year here on the red carpet, we had the domination of Edgewood winning 66-6 over the Patriots. And you know the Patriots have not forgotten that score.
No, they have not.
And will not forget that score. They're on the road tonight at Indian Creek. That's
going to be a tough match, especially with the fear of looking ahead.
There is Caden Stevens' flag on the play.
We have a flag, though. We got a false start.
That will be the second penalty against the Clovers.
That's really bad. The only good thing about that is that it did take 5 more seconds off the clock.
Just the third penalty total in this game is going to push them back to the 15. Just under a minute to go. As Smith under center. It's going to be a quick handoff. And that is Stevens gets to the 25, and Coach Rosenberg calls another timeout.
Again, seeing them find success with that dive play. Said, in all honesty, in if I start the second half, I just keep running that play until Edgewood can prove that they can stop it. It's the one thing that is working for you right now.
As you see the Mustangs again on the sidelines, the coaching staff, Michael Doring, defensive coordinator, Matt Murphy, offensive coordinator, varsity assistants, Kyle Winkler, Caleb True, James Kleizek, Javon Ivy, Kevin Haas, Josh Page, and Seth Morris, your Mustang coaching staff. Done a good job so far with this Edgewood ball club. And looks like Cloverdale will punt this away. Andrew Blessinger going to stand the 44. As it's going to take a bounce at the 45, and Blessinger's just going to get away from it. Cloverdale is going to down it at the 48.
So now with one timeout and 39 seconds left, we'll see our 2-minute offense from the Edgewood Mustangs. We saw a little bit of that in the first quarter with some nice passes from Skylar Curtis to Shane Wickens. I expect him to go back to Wickens this drive.
Now 6 of 9 so far for Skylar Curtis, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Wickens with the touchdown reception. First and 10 at the 48. Curtis gonna throw it out. It is caught and taken down. That is James Falkenberg, number 86, with his first reception of the evening. And he's going to get
And unfortunately, though, is that they didn't get the first. There was an injured man down there.
And we'll see who the injury is. Is that Caden? Looks like it's great shot by our camera crew here to get capture the.
And yeah, if that's Stevens, as I just said, start that second half. I was just saying, start with him and just run up the middle. If he's gone from this game, that might be an insurmountable wall there. You'll need you'll need quite a few players to step up to fill that role.
Yeah, that's a kid that you definitely cannot afford to lose. And really, with Cloverdale only having 35 kids, you can't afford to lose any player at all, let alone your best player. As he is up and going to get helped off the field here. I have him for 18 carries so far this evening. Cloverdale's run the ball.
Yep, that is Caden Stevens. Just
22 times, so he's got all but 4 carries for Cloverdale so far. So huge if they do not. He does not come back.
Absolutely.
So we will keep an eye on Caden Stevens.
Yeah, definitely going to be something that we will check to see in warm-ups before we start the second half to see if he'll be out there.
2nd and 7. Curtis going to fire it across the middle, complete. That is Parker Harrington, and he's going to the house for the Edgewood touchdown.
One thing I noted in week 1 was that Parker Harrington runs a very nasty slant route when he's on the left side of the field, and we just saw it right there, kind of learning from the pick play in basketball to just kind of pivot and then go there, immediately catching it and then just turning on the jets. Excellent job. Excellent pass by Skylar Curtis as well. 2nd touchdown pass of the game and the season for Curtis, and first touchdown of Parker Harrington's football career.
I talked to him after the Mitchell game and asked him why football, and he said he was ready, as Atkins' kick is good, he was ready for physical contact once again, and not to mention that Skylar Curtis, his buddy, kept persuading him to play football. So I know that that's a decision that both Skylar Curtis and Brian Rosenberg and the Mustang coaching staff is very happy. As you see the Edgewood student section in the crowd here at Edgewood. Of course, the new bleachers and press box here on the west side of the field, part of a renovation project, along with the red field, the new concession and locker room area, part of a massive upgrade here at Edgewood. Going to get a new track here soon once they get that down, and it's been a very nice addition here to this Edgewood Mustang field. So now it's 28-0 with 17 seconds to go. And of course, you know, we talked about the mercy rule last week, and it could come back into play here again this week. And now they're going to muff the ball. They're going to have to go into the end zone. It will be a touchback. So luckily for Edgewood.
And I expect to kneel down here to end this half.
So 7 drives for Edgewood, 4 of them for scores, with 14 seconds left to go here in the first half. Upcoming for Edgewood, of course, we mentioned Owen Valley, South Putnam here in 2 weeks, then at Indian Creek, Brown County, at Bloomington South, and then the WIC crossover here to round out the season. This is a run play, a flag on the play.
We have a flag.
31 is Connor Holder.
Holder actually started tonight. He was their starting fullback. He's only a young sophomore, but boy, they will miss Caden Stevens.
As Caden Stevens not in there right now, and he is getting checked out on the Cloverdale sidelines. So Edgewood's going to decline.
Looks like they'll turn down the false start penalty.
Be a second and 10, and the clock is rolling here. And I don't think Cloverdale will get this off, as that will do it. And Edgewood's going to go to the half, leading 28-0. So a huge first half for the Mustangs as we look at the highlights, and it's Skylar Curtis's first touchdown pass, and this goes to Shane Wickens. And it's Caden Stevens going to work, and then Edgewood just strip sacks and takes it over. And then here is Curtis on the pass, and that is tipped away and intercepted by Devin Cashian as Cloverdale returns it here. And then Skylar Curtis going to take off and run for the end zone and just stay in bounds, as Curtis will get it. This is Parker Harrington, his first career touchdown as a Mustang, and he is all excited, all fired up as Edgewood in control, 28-0 over Cloverdale here on Smithville Sports.
We're back in the historic town of Jasper to visit a landmark destination. Schnitzel restaurant offers the full German dining experience. From authentic cuisine to traditional German beer to even a working glockenspiel, Schnitzelbank defines Jasper's heritage.
My name is Alan Hauselman, and our family owns the Schnitzel Bunk restaurant. I manage the restaurant. I'm also part owner. My sister Jill is my bookkeeper in here, and then Gail, my sister, is over the hotel. And we're really over the whole business, you know, in general. But my sister Lori runs the catering division up there, and then I got my oldest son DJ helps out in the catering division. He's kind of over the trucks and things like that, and then he also is helping out with the brewery. My other son, Nathan, is over the clubhouse where all the weddings are. And then Shelby, like I said, is our salesperson, and she is Gail's daughter. It was a tavern in Jasper, Indiana for many years, and it was starting to fail because the building was so old, and my dad, Larry, took it over in 1961. First off, he just started out serving beer and stuff and a few sandwiches, and he noticed, you know, when a local place down the road would open up and they'd sell the beer for 5 cents cheaper, everybody'd run down there. After they did that about twice, he said, this ain't for me. Well, he decided to get more into the food end of the business. So he started asking all the locals around here for recipes that they brought over from Germany. And we still use those recipes today, but once he started that, he noticed those customers came back every week. They couldn't get that anyplace else. In 1971, the place had gotten so full, we were busy all the time, and so we built on again in 73, and then once again in 1988, we built on again. And since then, we've added the catering division, and we also own the Hampton Inn next door. We built this Hampton Inn in the year 2000. And the interesting part about that is the last 3 years, it's been the #1 Hampton Inn in Indiana. Well, we started the catering division in about I think it was 1994, and it really took off. I mean, it was something that this town needed. Most of our catering now goes to Louisville and Evansville because the trucks are rolling kitchens. We take the food right there and we cook it right there for you on the spot. We don't put it in a Cambro and haul it for an hour or something like that. So that became very popular. And how the clubhouse kind of got involved with this is that we didn't have our own wedding venue. So we were starting to lose out on some weddings because they did all their own cooking in some of these venues. So that's when we decided to do the clubhouse. So we had our own venue that we can cater to, and we also have our own kitchen out there also. Yes, most of our recipes did come from local families. Well, as a matter of fact, they all did. But these families did come over from Germany, and they were very authentic recipes. As a matter of fact, we still get German people in here today that said it's more authentic here than it is in Germany because they've become more Americanized over there for the tourists. But we went and started several of these recipes, and we still use the same ones today, and you're going to get a taste some of that good local German food. Well, we have a little meat packer here called Merkley's here in town, and they do all of our sausages just especially for us. So those are real popular, the worst platter, but the most popular item we do have on the menu is our sampler platter, just because people want to try everything. So they'll pick out 3 items that they like or want to try or whatever, but that is definitely, our goulash is definitely very popular, the Wiener Schnitzel. When the Super Bowl was in Indianapolis, they had a sandwich contest with all the independent restaurants in Indiana, and we actually won that contest. So you're going to get a sample of that sandwich too today. We carry, right now, we carry about 120 different imports, but I'm going to say probably at least a half of those are probably German accent or Belgium, you know, in that region of the country. But like I said, we also do make our own beers. We carry 20 different beers on tap. And I'm going to say out of those 20, 15 are either our beers or German beers.
Hello, I'm Wayne Patmore. I'm the head brewer here at the Schnitz Brewery and Pub. The Schnitzelbach decided to do a brewery because the Hanselmans had always wanted to do a brewery, and the craft beer market is exploding right now. The types of beers that we have are a traditional American blonde, very light, low hops, very crisp. Then we have our German Hefeweizen, which is a traditional German Hefeweizen that follows the German Reinheitsgebot, the German purity laws. It has a banana characteristic to the beer, similar to banana bread. Then we have our IPA, which is a traditional American IPA made with Centennial hops. Then we have our American Porter, which is a nice malty, chocolate-flavored porter. We produce 7 barrels of beer at a time, which is 217 gallons. The beer that we make, we sell here at the pub, at the Schnitzelbach restaurant. Several different establishments in the tri-state area have us on tap. And also we are in cans at several liquor stores, grocery stores, and convenience stores in the tri-state area.
The glockenspiel that we have was put up in 1988, and basically what they are is a moving clock. They got two doors on either side of the clock, and they open up on the hour and on the half an hour, and they're moving figurines. Ours is about, they normally try to tell a story. Ours is basically singing the Schnitzelbank song is what it's doing, and he drinks a beer at the end. December is definitely our busiest time because of the Christmas parties that want to come here. But if you take the single busiest weekend that we have is we have a local festival here at Strassenfest, and it's the first weekend in August every year. And it's always German themed, so we get a lot of the people that want to try authentic German foods and stuff like that, and they want to try authentic German beers. So yes, that's our busiest, definitely by far our busiest weekend. And we actually put up a buffet with all of our German food on there so we can handle the quantity of people that come through here. We've always ranked in the top 10 restaurants in the state of Indiana, and we're proud of that. We've done that for many, many years, and we still are in the top 10 restaurants in the state of Indiana. Our hours here at the Schnitzelbank are Monday through Saturday, and that is 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. And we're not open on Sundays, and that goes back to the German Catholic deal. You know, years ago, people didn't believe in working on Sundays, and unless we really had to do it, we wanted to keep that German tradition up, and we have been able to do that. The only two Sundays is Easter and Mother's Day. We do open up because the locals asked us. There's no, they wanted a place to take their mother on Mother's Day and their family on Easter, so we do open up on those 2 days.
All right, so I am here at Schnitzelbank with Alan, and we're about to try some awesome food. So can you tell us just briefly what we have here? And
okay, well, normally the people will start out with one of our German appetizers here, and this is our combination platter. We have three different types of sausages on here that are locally made. One is the Knockwurst, Bockwurst, and then we also have, of course, the Bratwurst. And then we have sauerkraut balls. You'll love those. They're more meat flavored than they are, and you won't get too much of the sauerkraut taste, but those are one of our most popular appetizer items. And then we have a pretzel that goes with it. Then we have Reuben Rolls, and then the potato pancakes, which are pan fried, and all of that is very good. After you're done with your appetizer, then we have some of our more popular entrees. This is our German sampler platter. We have our goulash, and then we have sauerbraten. Most of these are kind of like your roast beef type of a meal, that you get in Germany. And then we have the Wiener Schnitzel and the Schwein Schnitzel, more or less like a breaded tenderloin up that line, but except they're more skillet fried and stuff too. And then of course our three sausages again are Knockwurst, the Bockwurst, and the Bratwurst. And then we also have our Kassler Rippchen, which is like a ham pork chop. That's very popular here also. And then of course our seasoned sauerkraut, and then we make our own red cabbage. These are German fries, which is just a pan-fried potato in a skillet with onions in it. Very good. That's our most popular potato. This is the Super 46 sandwich. This is what won the Super Bowl sandwich of the independent restaurants a few years ago that some of you may recall. And it's just a bratwurst with sauerkraut, and then it's got a pretzel underneath of it, and then it's got honey mustard on the top of it. Very good.
Awesome.
And then some of our other items that are somewhat German. This is about a half a hog here. It's our 2-inch pork chops. We only do those on Wednesdays and Saturdays. We smoke them for about 3 hours, and then we put them in an alto sham, and it's moist heat that brings basically it tenderizes it over them, and people love them. And then we also get into, we serve the finest steaks that you'll find anywhere around here. So we kind of get into more of the American foods too, and we also have seafood.
Awesome. Well, this looks like a lot to handle, so I'm going to have to pace myself. But generally, I'm starting with the sampler, right?
Right.
Okay. Which on the sampler plate should I try first?
I think you ought to try one of the kraut balls. I think you'd really, which is one of these right here.
Do you use your hands for this one or utensils?
Normally, I see most people pick them up with their fingers.
Awesome. Okay.
Mostly we put hot mustard in there, but if you don't like a real hot kind of deal, but I don't know, you don't get too much of a kraut flavor in there. And like I said, those are our most popular appetizer.
No, I like it a lot. Yeah, the sauerkraut's subtle, but yeah, I like it. Okay, that's awesome. Now, what should I move on to next on the plate?
Well, if you'd want to try one of the smaller sausages there, I would
try
suggest.
a bite.
Okay, like you know, if you want to grab a Farken, just maybe grab one of the Bach. The Bockwurst is one of my favorites. Most people have had a Bratwurst or something at a festival or whatever, but most of them haven't had a Bockwurst. They're seasoned a little bit differently.
Okay. Oh yeah, you definitely taste how the seasoning's different.
And then our Reuben Rolls have the, you know, the corned beef and the kraut and stuff in them. These are our Reuben Rolls, and you may want to just cut a piece off the end or something there. And then this is, a lot of people like the Thousand Island dressing or something with the Reubens.
To cut a small bite. Don't want to bite off more than I can chew. Literally. Not a lefty, but we'll try. I really like these. It's a really good combination with the Thousand Island.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And the Reubens really go well with that. And then the potato pancakes, like I say, I'm sure you've had a pretzel already before, but the potato pancakes are very good also. And a lot of people use the apple butter.
Oh, okay.
And they'll dip the potato pancakes in the apple butter.
All right.
But if you'd want to try, instead of something like that, if you'd want to even do, like this is the goulash, probably one of the most popular. And it's, like I say, it's more of a German form of roast beef. And then we actually make all of our own noodles and stuff here too. So though it's the homemade, you know, noodles and stuff too that really set it off. There you go, we can put that over here.
Okay.
This one here. If you don't like carrots, you can probably push them out of the way and get more of the meat if you like. If you like carrots,
I like carrots,
oh, well
so
then
I'm gonna go for it,
then you'll
but-
like that.
I'm gonna try to get the perfect bite for the camera.
Yeah, for the
But
get some
not
noodles.
too well. That's good. All right.
Like I said, it's like a German form of like roast beef. That's about the closest you can get to it.
I always loved beef and noodles growing up, and this is a very nice version of beef and noodles. Awesome. Okay, so what else on this plate do you think?
Okay, this is the Wiener Schnitzel, and that is also very popular, but you may want to take a knife and just cut off a little piece of that for you.
Okay. All right. How do I say it properly? Wiener
Wiener Schnitzel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
And what those go well with is we actually serve that with the sauerbraten gravy. Now, this is one that you may not, you either like it or you hate it. But the goulash is more of the red wine sauce, but the sauerbraten is done in a white wine sauce, and it sours it a little bit. And but I love it. But some people, like I said, it's a kind of an acquired taste. But if you want to take and just cut you off a little piece there, but the gravy is very popular with our other fried items to dip, to dip them in.
Oh yeah, that one's a little bit more potent, but I like it. Yeah, no, that's
yeah,
really
it's either
good.
a love-hate with that one.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I like it.
And then the other one is you tried one of our sausages, but this is more of the Kasserrippchen is served over sauerkraut, and it's going to give you more of a feeling of the ham if you want to cut off just a little piece of that.
Taking a little more muscle than I anticipated. Okay, here's the ham.
And it gives you more of a feeling of like a ham pork chop, and I like that. So.
No, I like that a lot. Yeah, I like the seasoning on it too.
Yeah.
It's a little moist, which I like. Yeah, awesome.
These are, we only use the best cuts of meat here, and if you want to try a piece of that steak there, I think you really like it. This is our ribeye, which is our best known steak on the menu.
All right, and how is it cooked?
With a broiler in the back, and it cooks from top and bottom, so it really does savor the juices and stuff inside.
All right.
Anyway, those are very popular here. And then our 2-inch pork chop is here. Here, I'll cut it into this one here.
The steak is very juicy. Oh wow, this looks like a lot to handle.
Yeah. You see more men eating these.
I was gonna say, I don't know if I would traditionally order this, just me. But
Yeah, if the women, we always give them a to-go box to take it home with because we know they can't eat it all. and you'll be able to very well tell the, taste the smoke in here, because like I said, we charcoal, put these over charcoal for like 3 hours, and then we steam them for another 3 hours to put the moisture back in them, because when you smoke something, it takes the moisture out of it.
Awesome. All right. Sauce looks really good too.
Yeah, that's our own barbecue sauce. Very tasty.
Oh yeah, the texture's really good. It's
Yeah.
really
Very popular with
Smooth,
golfers after the ones that
Oh.
are really hungry coming off the golf course. They just absolutely adore those.
if they had a good day.
Yeah.
Or I guess if a bad day too, no matter how.
That may be the best part of their day.
Yeah. All right, so now that I've gotten a great taste of German entrees, let's move on to German desserts.
And the first one there that you'll be trying, this is a German chocolate pie, and it's our own recipe, but it's this one, it'll put a pound or two on you, but I mean, it is very good if you want to try it. Do you like coconut?
I love coconut.
Okay, because it's got the German chocolate underneath and then the coconut on top.
All right. Very rich. I like it a lot. Yeah, I love German chocolate too, so you can't go wrong.
And then our most popular dessert by far is our apple strudel, and it's a recipe from Germany, and we serve it with cinnamon ice cream, and it is wonderful. Yeah, it is
I
to
love
die for.
apple and everything, so I'm excited. I get the bite I can actually tackle from this. Alright. That cinnamon with the apple, great
Yeah.
combination. All right, so Alan, when can people come see you? What are your hours?
Okay, our hours here at the Schnitzel Bunk are Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. And yeah, you can come see us anytime during those hours. We'd love to see you. We are more of a lunch and dinner place, but we are open for, like I say, a late breakfast if you want a hot breakfast.
Okay, well then thanks for watching, and until next time on the Hoosier Foodie.
Auf Wiedersehen.
As we welcome you back to the Mustang Corral, the red carpet here at Edgewood High School. Edgewood in control, 28-0 as we start the second half. Glad you could join us for Edgewood Mustang football here on Smithville Sports alongside Quinn Saturday. I am Nick Jameson, and Quinn. Skylar Curtis, 2 touchdown passes, also a touchdown run, and Brody Schaefer, a touchdown run for Edgewood.
It's been quite a game for Skylar Curtis against Cloverdale. He really likes facing this team. He always seems to have a big night whenever he faces the Clovers. Didn't have a passing touchdown those first 2 games of the season. Able to pop 2 of them right here in the first half. We're at a 28-0 lead for Edgewood. If Edgewood is able to get up to a 35-0 lead, then there will be a running clock. We do have the official rules for that, so if and when that happens, I will read them out to let not only us know, but also let our viewers know as well.
1st and 10 at the 27. And this is going to be a nice run. And this is Jake Smith, number 34, and he's going to get the first down out near midfield. So Jake Smith gets...
And Smith is going to really need to pick up the pace here. We do see Caden Stevens back in the game. He is in there, but probably isn't 100% after that hit at the end of the game. So they're going to need to lean a little bit more on Smith.
3rd carry of the night for Jake Smith, and a first down for Cloverdale at their own 48. And it is a just quick dive handoff. That is Stevens. As he is back in, got himself hurt. Gain of 2 at the end of the first half. 2nd and 8 for the Clovers at the 50-yard line.
Very important that they're able to get a score on this drive because, as I said, next score by Edgewood makes this a running clock.
Smith under center. And it's going to be a flag before the snap, and it will be on the Clovers.
There's going to be a false start. Seen quite a few of those tonight from the offensive line.
Third penalty for Cloverdale this evening.
That's a third procedure penalty of the day also for the Clovers.
Edgewood just with one penalty so far tonight. Second and 13 now at the 45. As we mentioned, Jake Smith coming in tonight just had 3 completed passes. He has 1 tonight, so just 4 on the season. This will be a run. That is Stevens, or actually 22.
Yep.
Stevens. So that's the 23rd carry, just a gain of 1. He continues to be the workhorse, though, for the Clovers. As 3rd and 11 at the 47. Cloverdale has only converted 1 third down attempt so far this game. And it's going to be a handoff, and it is Deshaun Heimball, his first carry, and it is met for a loss in the backfield.
That was just excellent recognition. You knowing the situation and seeing the player going for the end around on a 3rd and long, you know that the player on the end around is getting that ball, because the inside route is only going to give you like 5, 6, 7 yards when you need about 13. So you're definitely going for the higher risk, higher reward play, and that's just an excellent job to immediately read that and like, I know the ball's going that way. I'm going to immediately zero in and take him down.
So a loss of 4, high snap, has plenty of time to get it off, and this one goes out of bounds, and Edgewood's going to get good field position here to start this second half. Skylar Curtis in that first half, 8 of 11 passing for the Mustangs. He completed his first 6 passes, but also then had an interception, and he had a touchdown pass to Shane Wickens and to Parker Harrington. So a 1st and 10 at the 50. Of course, I see you're getting the official rules for the mercy rule if this comes into effect. And this is a nice run for Levi Bay, his 4th carry of the evening for Edgewood.
And these last 2 weeks have been really crucial for Bay to get implemented into this offense, kind of give Schaefer a breather, not having to run the ball every single down, keep him fresh as well.
Gain of 6 for Bay. 2nd and 4 at the 44. This will be, I think, Skylar Curtis just going to get a few yards up the middle. 7th carry tonight for Curtis.
Yep. Kind of was assisted when he got tackled, kind of get pushed forward. So actually they're going to move him back a little bit, so they're going to make it a 3rd and 2, where it initially looked like it might have been like a 3rd and 1.
7, approaching the 7.5 minute mark. Harrison Pittsford at the center always gets to the line before his teammates to get ready to snap. This one is Brody Schaefer. He gets hit, and that will be short of the first down marker. Schaefer's 6th carry of the night. This will bring up a 4th down.
Really good first defensive stand for the Clovers. We are in that area where they can go for it, so this will be a very interesting play. I think they're going to end up going for it.
Yeah, they're going to go for this here. They're not going to bring on the special teams. One of first time that the Mustangs are going for it, and this is successful, and it's up the gut, and he's going to cut to the outside, and it is Skylar Curtis to the end zone. Touchdown, Edgewood.
We call that the slingshot. Basically, you kind of take a step back and then you immediately rev forward. That was just an excellent job for him to not only see that hole, but then break it through, seeing daylight all the way to the end zone. And we're an extra point right now away from getting the mercy rule started. As we said, the mercy rule does take it apart when it's a 35-point lead in the second half, and it's no good. We still are not. I think now is probably the best of time anyway, since during the mercy rule we probably won't have enough time. But for the mercy rule, beginning in the second half, when the point differential between the teams is at or reaches 35 at any point, the game clock will go to a running clock. At that point, the clock will only stop at timeouts, scores, or injuries. Not even for when they call the flags. Little iffy on whether or not, when the quarter changes, whether or not the timer goes. We didn't really get it.
Yeah, I think that was a quick trigger at Bloomington North last week.
Yeah, I think that's also included in there. But yes, once it is implemented, it may not revert back to the standard call, no matter the score, which kind of has already built in the possibility of a team losing sometime this season when they try to make a comeback from 35 points down. You can kind of already tell that it's understandable, because they don't want someone to cut it to 28 points, as you have a decent return stopped right at the 20-yard line. But yeah, it's going to. We definitely both foresee this probably becoming a bit of a controversy, but again, to prevent it from, if you start wavering on it to the 28 points and to the 35 points, but the 40-second play clock will stay the same throughout the contest. That is a very important thing to note. That does not change. And also, coaches do not have the ability to override the mercy rule, which is very important in rivalry games, because you definitely know that in a rivalry game, a coach does not want a running clock, regardless of the score.
No, and that could come into play possibly next week between Edgewood and Owen Valley, and that would be a very interesting scenario. And Cloverdale gets the ball, and that is a first down for the Clovers, and it's Caden Stevens moving the chains. So a nice run for Stevens. First and 10 at the 36. Again, the clock right now is still at the same. It's not a running clock yet. It's at 34 points.
It's basically become a point of no return. And, well, in some aspects, I do like that. Like I said, we're in the first implementations of it, so I feel like there are still going to be many updates and adjustments to it in the years coming up, because it's definitely not perfect as is right now.
First year of this new rule that was implemented in the off season of the mercy rule, and I guarantee you there will be a lot of feedback from coaches across the state after this season on what we can do to improve it, what they like, what they don't like. So, but it is going to be in play here if Edgewood scores once again. So there's a flag of Stevens. He's got the first down, but there is a penalty. And then another flag thrown back here at the 37.
That may have just offsetted flags, because I think it was a holding penalty. at the line of scrimmage.
So we'll check and that flag in the backfield was thrown late after the play was already over with.
This refereeing crew, the referee.
One is against Edgewood,
From Columbus, coming in, doing the whistle tooting.
and the other against Cloverdale, so they are going
That's
to...
a chop block.
And an unsportsmanlike against Cloverdale.
Do I read that right? 2 penalties called against the...
And this is going to back the Clovers up.
So to my best understanding, offsetting penalties, but then unsportsmanlike conduct will push it back from after the play.
So the official talking to Cloverdale's coach Dave Zorman.
And see, this is where, like I said, in a running clock situation, I would want the clock to stop. I am a proponent of stopping the clock for a flag like this.
Yeah, the clock does not normally stop, as you see Coach Zorman talking to the officials, not obviously happy with that call as he goes back to the sidelines. Again, looking for their first win of the year is Cloverdale. They will have Cascade on the road next week, North Putnam, then at Brown County, Owen Valley, then Indian Creek, and then the crossover game in week 9. You have you have the East and West divisions in the crossover. In the East, it's Brown County, Indian Creek, Cloverdale, Owen Valley, Edgewood. The West, Greencastle, Northview, South Putnam, Sullivan, West Vigo, and North Putnam. How you finish in the division is who you play in the other division for the overall conference standings. And of course, this year with Cascade already leaving the conference, the team that finishes last in the West could actually be left without an opponent in week 9. Now, there are a couple teams in the state that have open dates that week, but this will be the final year as the crossover, as they're going to go to East and our big and small school divisions. So a 2nd and 35 for Cloverdale. Fumble, and Edgewood recovers it inside the 5-yard line.
That looked like a snap thing again, or an exchange thing once again, Joe. We've seen that a few times.
The 4th fumble of the night for Cloverdale, Quinn.
And it's been something that's plagued them the entire season and has continued to plague them.
And the ball rested the 5-yard line. Cloverdale retains possession.
Oh, Cloverdale actually does retain possession. It's not. Oh,
I thought it was a fair and square fumble recovery, which would have been...
they're going to say Cloverdale recovered, so Edgewood's defense stays out on the field. So a 3rd and 35 now for Cloverdale. They're just going to run this, and it's going to go nowhere and bring up a 4th down. And now some extracurriculars. The Edgewood fans want a flag. They will not get that.
Yeah, a bit of frustration.
Ball is at the 7-yard line.
Well, 4th down, and Smith will stay in the game and punt it away.
And it's going to be, of course, a punt for the Clovers. And this is going to give Edgewood great field position.
4th and from the Bloomington campus.
Yeah, it's 4th and 40 with the ball at the 7-yard line. So regardless of what happens here, Edgewood gets great field position. Slow, got to get it out, and he barely gets it off. And it's going to hit out of bounds at the 35.
All things considered, that actually...
Yeah, I was going to say, it bounced about the 40, but then it stayed in bounds and went to about the Edgewood 47.
All things considered, that actually ended up being a pretty good punt.
So while we have a minute here, we'd like to thank our crew, the hardworking women and men behind the scenes, Noah Barajas, Annette Bruner, Jeremy Nutter on the cameras, Nate Alarcon and Rob Ramsey in the truck, you and I doing commentary. We thank you for everything that you all do behind the scenes as they bring you the sights and sounds of Friday Night Football. Next week, rivalry week, Edgewood and North both on the road. Edgewood at Owen Valley, North going cross town to Bloomington South. So our next game 2 weeks from tonight here at Edgewood when they face South Putnam. Brody Schaefer with the handoff gets to the 35. 7th carry of the night for Brody Schaefer, as it'll be a 2nd and 5.
Decent run up the middle for Schaefer. Has had a fairly quiet night, very productive, but it's been fairly quiet. Did have the 1 touchdown.
He's got 5 on the season, and here is Brody Schaefer. He's going to get to the 30-yard line, close to the first down.
I think they're going to give it to him.
So they're going to move the chains as Brody Schaefer gets the first down at the 30. As the approaching 2.5 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. Andrew Blessinger in at quarterback. He's going to hand this off. And that is Levi Bay for the 5th carry of his night. So it looks like Skylar Curtis' night is done. Looks like another good night for Curtis. 8 of 11 passing for 2 touchdowns and also 2 touchdown runs for Curtis.
Yeah, Curtis, again, a phenomenal game for the Mustangs.
Passed for over 1,000 yards a season ago. Well on his way to that is Blessinger going to fire it up, and it's a touchdown for Derek Farkas.
That was an excellent pass from Blessinger to Farkas.
So Andrew Blessinger, his first pass of the season, goes for a touchdown, this time to Derek Farkas for 27 yards.
And Farkas basically just boxed out the cornerback, basically for a nice rebound for the touchdown, like a rebound on the run, basically.
Derek Farkas plays basketball for new coach Matt Wadsworth and Edgewood. Wadsworth replacing J.B. Neal, who went to Bloomfield. Wadsworth comes over from Whiteland, and now the running clock is in effect as Andre Atkins' kick is good, and it is 41-0.
And Blessinger, a junior, will be able to, next season will likely be the starting quarterback, kind of showing off his arm right there, because that was a very difficult pass to complete as well. That required some very precise accuracy over the shoulder, and he was able to get it up on there to Farkas. Really, really good pass from Blessinger.
As you see the crowd here at Edgewood High School, good crowd on hand tonight. So far, Quinn, 3 weeks of wonderful weather on Friday night.
Thankfully that we have had some really good weather so far this season. Hopefully it continues. We know it won't, though. we know it won't. We've been doing this long enough that we know that we're going to have one of those games. But so far, we have had excellent weather here. I mean, regardless, we're going to be fine. But we hope that our crew, that it continues for our crew out there, so that they will not have to brave the elements.
And now the running clock will be in effect, as it will not stop now until the end of the quarter, and then it will run for the majority of the fourth quarter.
Yep, they will only stop from here on out for timeouts, scores, and injuries.
So the ball is at the 25-yard line, already approaching a minute to go here in quarter number 3. Clovers may get 1 or 2 plays off here before the end of the quarter. That is a run up the middle, and that is Caden Stevens out to the 35. That will be a Cloverdale first down.
Stevens continues to chug along. Definitely above 50 yards. Probably won't get a second 100-yard game, but I could definitely see him getting 60, 70, 80 yards for this game. He's been getting some nice runs.
Cloverdale has only thrown it 4 times this evening, only completed 1 pass, and I don't look for them to throw again in this game. That's just going to go straight up the gut. Edgewood thinks they have it, but they don't, as that's going to end the third quarter here with Edgewood up 41-0 on Cloverdale on Smithville Sports.
Smithville Media has produced stunning and engaging features and documentaries for over a decade. Local interest stories, interviews, commercials and event coverage are all part of what we do. Let us showcase your business or create a commercial for your promotions. We can even play your pieces during our live sports broadcasts. For details, speak with a Smithville representative or email media@smithville.com.
As we welcome you back to the Mustang Corral, as Edgewood in control 41-0 here on Smithville Sports. Don't forget, we are on YouTube. If you go to the Smithville channel on YouTube or search Smithville Media, you can watch every Smithville Sports broadcast live or watch it later.
Yep, we got a couple of good ones already this season. We had a really good game between Edgewood and Mitchell. That was a back and forth contest during week 1. And then week 2, we got to see Reese Lozano and Bloomington North really get to show off against Bedford North Lawrence. And I am really excited for North-South this year. That's going to be a really good game. It's going to be the first time in a while that both teams are ranked. If North is able to at least show up a good performance this week and stay in the polls for next week.
Bloomington North 2-0 for the first time since 2010. The last time they went 3-0 was 2003. They are at Terre Haute South tonight. Bloomington South is over at Terre Haute North. Of course, next week it's rivalry week. North and South. South leads that all-time series 43-13 and has won the last 8 meetings. The last time North won 24-21 in the 2013 sectional championship, and they also won the regular season meeting that year 24-16. And then Edgewood and Owen Valley over in Spencer for the Black and Blue Trophy. Edgewood leads that series 30-17, and Edgewood won last year 66-6. And Owen Valley is on a 13-game losing streak. They finished 0-10 a season ago. So here is the Clovers. They got plenty of daylight into Edgewood territory, and it's Stevens down to the 30-yard line.
That is a big run for Stevens. Nice pitch to the outside as well. Kind of put him in a different position instead of putting him in the kind of the center back where he would be going up the middle. They kind of had him out to the right, and boom, we're able to run him, get him a nice pitch out, and a biggest run of the night for Stevens.
Again, the clock does not stop now into the Mercy Rule, approaching 10.5 minutes to go. Jake Smith still in at quarterback. This is Stevens, and he gets past the 20 down to about the 17
Definitely feel
yard
that
line.
Stevens has gotten a second wind here.
They're going to feel it tomorrow morning as he's going to probably be iced up from head to toe with his.
He heard I said I won't. He heard I said he won't get to 100 yards, and he's like, "I'll prove you wrong."
As he continues to dominate the offensive part of Cloverdale's game.
I definitely feel that if Cloverdale is able to score on this drive, that they will pull the starters after this.
First and 10 at the 19. And it's Stevens, and he is taken down. It'll be a second down. Mustangs looks like they will go to 3-0 for the first time since 2000. Owen Valley next week, South Putnam, Indian Creek, Brown County, at Bloomington South, and then the crossover at home. So it won't get any easier for Edgewood coming up, because in 2 weeks, South Putnam comes in, and so far South Putnam 2-0 on the season going into tonight's game at North Putnam. Edgewood dominates that series 15-1, and the only time South Putnam won in the series was 2016. Edgewood won it 40-16 last year. So the Clovers 3rd and 8 at the 17. Now approaching 8.5 minutes to go.
Remember, the clock, the play clock stays the same.
Yeah, it's down to 6 seconds right now. Down to 3. And they just get it off, but then it is sacked as Jake Smith just gets brought down for the sack.
Just a big, it's like the offensive line did not do the proper blocking, and a huge 4th down now. You've had some excellent runs. You're in the red zone for the first time all game. Don't want to waste this opportunity. Don't want to get shut out. Meanwhile, with your Edgewood, you definitely want to maintain that 0 on the scoreboard.
And they're going to throw it, and it is caught for Devin Cashin for the 16-yard touchdown.
And that's the first touchdown of the year passing for Jake Smith.
So a 16-yard touchdown pass. Cloverdale on the board. Here with 7:28, but again, the mercy rule stays in effect. The clock does not revert back, so it will stay in effect after this one. As the second completion of the night for Jake Smith. Edgewood going to lead this series 15-3 and 5-2 now since 1997. They're going to win their second straight over the Clovers. And more importantly, they're going to go to 1-0 in the division. And that pass is failed, so it is now 41-6.
Cloverdale able to prevent the shutout.
So, as you see, the Edgewood Mustangs happy bunch on these sidelines. And again, it's where you finish in the division is the important thing, because then you will play on the other side. So I have a feeling that Edgewood will be...
Nick, I just got to say, the thing I'm going to miss most about the Crossover Classic going away is your explanation of it every single Edgewood game.
Well, it's always important to explain what's it, but yes, it will be going away after this year, and of course we'll have the same in basketball as well, as they're going to go to big school, large school divisions. Well, next year it is Edgewood, Owen Valley, Northview, and Indian Creek. In the big school division, small school, Sullivan, North Putnam, South Putnam, Greencastle, Cloverdale, Brown County, and West Vigo. They did invite Linton to join the conference, but Linton declined. As
Also, 1 2-point conversion.
Linton, another 1A, 2A
Yeah,
school,
probably.
but a very good school in a lot of sports that I think would have contributed to the conference. This is going to be an onside kick, and Edgewood's going to recover.
That was actually a really good onside kick. It's just that it was able to Edgewood was immediately able to pounce on it.
So the Mustangs are going to take control here. Under 7 minutes to go. While we have a chance, let's thank our crew once again. The hardworking women and men behind the scenes: Noah Barajas, Jeremy Nutter, Annette Bruner, Rob Ramsey, Nate Alarcon, Nadir Noon. You and I here in the commentary booth, we thank them all for their hard work all season long. Got a lot more coming up. Got a lot of basketball coming up, as well as the rest of football. So far, an exciting football season, and here is a big run for the Mustangs.
That's Isaiah Girn,
The freshman, 5'6", Girn, 5'6", 130-pound senior or freshman, his first carry of the season.
always inspiring to be able to see a freshman come in, even in garbage, even late in a blowout, and make a big run like that. That was an awesome job.
And this is Girn again, and he's going to get just stuffed at the 25. Looks like a new quarterback for Edgewood. Jacob Lanning, 5'8", 130-pound freshman.
Yep, we got the freshman. We got the freshman backfield right now. We got the future right now, getting to show off a little bit.
And Lanning's gonna take off. He's gonna get taken down from behind down near the 22.
But Lanning showed some wheels on that. He was able to escape that defensive end rush and gain a couple of yards on the play in what should have been a sack.
Going to be a 3rd and 9 here at the 23. Clock under 4.5 minutes. Now with the running clock in effect. And it's going to be a pass complete. Nice catch, and that is number 37, Evan Waters, his first reception. The junior first reception of the season for Waters.
Could we have three quarterbacks with three passing touchdowns?
It is possible. So good for a first down. First and goal at the 9. Coach Rosenberg getting in the younger players. It's going to be Girn, number 11. Be a second down here.
Didn't have much room, able to do the best he could with very limited space.
Approaching 3 minutes to go here. Again, next week, rivalry week, Edgewood at Owen Valley, north and south, and we'll be back 2 weeks from this evening here at Edgewood for South Putnam at Edgewood. This will be a run. Looks like James Hurst at number 42 with the carry. 3rd and 9. I think at this point, Coach Rosenberg is just going to keep it on the ground.
Yeah. There isn't really a need to... Not really a need to score here. Though, you got to see him, you got to see Lanning pass, you got to see Girn be able to run, as you actually get to see Lanning pass again.
Oh, and just in and out of the hands.
We almost had three Edgewood quarterbacks with 3 touchdown passes. And that's what I was actually saying, is that we were thinking about that, but if I'm Coach Rosenberg, I mean, this is a conference game. Spare no expense.
Ashton Cormier with the in and out of the hands of number 17, Cormier. Now we're down to a minute and a half, 4th and 9.
See what Lanning can do.
In the shotgun. He's going to take off. He's going to throw it wide open, and it is called for the touchdown. So there you go, Quinn.
We have 3 Edgewood quarterbacks with passing touchdowns in this game. And already you can tell that Lanning already showing that he can throw on the run, something that's very hard for quite a few quarterbacks to do, showing that he already could do it as a freshman.
Looks like it was number 19, Eli Peavison, the senior for Edgewood. And so the Mustangs up 47-6. Going to throw the pass. It is no good. It is now 47-6 here with 36 seconds left to go. So Edgewood tonight going to go to 3-0 for the first time since the year 2000.
Dang, if only it was a year earlier and we could say that they were partying like it's 1999.
And we can date ourselves. I was in college at the time, and you were...
I was in kindergarten.
Oh, wait.
So you're dating yourself, actually.
I am dating myself. I just wanted to see, you know...
Credit their defense for starting things off. First play of the game, Tristan Bland busts into the backfield.
But 47-6, great win for Coach Rosenberg and his squad. And more importantly, 1-0 in this East Division.
And again, I want to reiterate for Coach Zorman that the first year in a rebuild is always going to be tough. Don't let this get you down. Coach Rosenberg was in your shoes in year 1, had some pretty big losses, but look at them now in year 3, getting off to this 3-0 start.
Yeah, Cloverdale.
So as long as you're able to continue building, the future can continue to be bright. Just have to endure.
Cloverdale looking for their first winning season since 1996, as now the clock is going to roll here, and this is going to be it. And Edgewood is going to win 47-6 and go to 3-0 on the season. So congratulations to Coach Rosenberg and more importantly, they're going to go into that Owen Valley game ranked.
Yeah,
state ranking, as the clock is done, and that is it. Edgewood wins 47-6. So great win for the Mustangs if we look at the highlights, and a lot of it is all, but this guy, Caden Stevens for Cloverdale, ran all over the place. But it was Skylar Curtis carrying the load for Edgewood. Here he comes right into your house and going for the touchdown. Then the Edgewood defense hit Cloverdale in the backfield all night. Curtis fires that to Blessinger to Derek Farkas, one of 3 Edgewood quarterbacks to throw touchdowns. And then there is the only Cloverdale score of the evening, as here is Edgewood just running all over the Clovers like they did last season. As that is it, Edgewood wins 47-6 for all the hardworking women and men behind the scenes. For my partner Quinn Saturday, I am Nick Jenkinson. We thank you for watching, and good night from Ellettsville.
What are going to be